Dominic made everyone banana bread.
Oh,
That was intended for the team.
intended didn't make its way there.
But let's just say Dom made Paige Peterson.
Oh, okay, we have to talk about that in the recap.
I would love to tell you how good it was, but I wouldn't know.
I also wouldn't know because I have a nut allergy, and banana bread and nuts is a thing. But Paige Peterson knows.
What happened to the banana bread, Steve?
I must know. I'm curious now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Dodgeball podcast. In this episode, I've got Brenda Kramer with me. Brenda, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Steve?
Thank you so much for hopping on and just being willing to kind of talk about this past weekend and help me recap women's specifically. It's a lot of pressure, but can you help me cover everything?
Yeah, I'll help you from the moment we walked in the gym till the moment we left.
Fantastic. And I guess unofficially with us is Karina, kind of just chilling on the group chat, but still responding through Facebook Messenger, and creeping on us is Crystal. So I don't think they'll be able to say hello, but they're here, and I just wanted to acknowledge that. And it's been a very fun 8 minutes just kind of talking nonsense. But first of all, congratulations. I mean, you took no sting and foam, right? We'll start there.
We did, yeah. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and let me back up and get ahead of myself. Why don't you just go ahead and reintroduce yourself, just in case this is new to somebody and that they're not familiar with you or your team, but let's start there.
So my name is Brenda Kramer. I play on Finesse for women's, and then for co-ed no sting, I play on Havoc. This is my first year doing any elite co-ed, and it's my fourth season playing elite women's.
Awesome. And Finesse is a new team, right?
Yeah, we just formed this year.
Awesome. And with Crystal kind of hanging out and Karina in the messenger, I just had this crazy idea to interview the team later on, so I'm just going to tease that now. But if people want to know more about the team, we can just kind of point in that direction and try as best I can if we just focus on the overall division. So don't want to be short, but like I said when I first met you, hey, we'll podcast later, and we totally did. And so we'll kind of move on. But let's start with just overall. I mean, it has been how long since you actually played in a competitive setting? When was the last competitive thing?
The last tournament was Sin City.
Okay.
And that was in January. Gotcha.
And was it difficult for you getting into elite mode last weekend, or what was that like?
It's different. Elite is very different than any other type of dodgeball tournament. There are foam leagues in LA that we play on Sundays. So that kind of helped keep me prepared for playing foam. And then there's also a women's league on Wednesday nights in LA as well that we play no sting and foam. So I have been playing, just kind of getting some reps in, and being close to Karina, Bree, and Crystal. We've been able to get together sometimes and work on some plays and some throwing and stuff. So yeah, but elite is just in a league of its own in terms of competitiveness.
But and especially with everybody stepping up and all the roster changes and shakeups that have been going on. I mean, it's like every division and every region, it seems. So the competition's only increasing, and so that's why I kind of wanted to lead into this question. That was, what was the biggest difference for round one from, I guess, round three or nationals that you can kind of elaborate on?
So for the West, this was the first time that I've played foam in an elite setting. So that was different, because the ball styles are completely different, and kind of the play style as well. So that's one of the biggest things that I noticed was a difference this time in round one. And the teams were a lot more competitive, and from the top of the bracket to the bottom of the bracket, there was no easy team. Every single team you had to approach the same exact way. because any upset could have happened at any time. So especially in the elimination round, where the difference was single elimination from the double elimination, you had to take every single game, every single throw, very seriously. So I think that kind of helped us, learn how to play with each other, because only 4 of us had really played with each other, because we live in LA, and then the rest of the girls live in other places. But so just the differences between how to approach the game when this could be your last game versus we could lose and come back.
Gotcha. And kind of talked about this during the East recap, and that was like, how seriously did you guys take round robin? Same mentality, this could be our last game, like you didn't snooze or sandbag, for lack of better words?
No sandbagging at all. None. It was from the moment we stepped on the court, it was like, okay, we have business to take care of. Just
game on.
Yeah.
Would you say that's, and this is obviously your opinion, your perspective, but would you say that was like the same mentality for the other teams? Or, because again, going back to the East, it sounded like a couple of the newer teams didn't really know or anticipate like how important round robin was. Like every single game mattered. So do you think that was how other teams came into round one for the West Coast?
I do. I think that the West Coast, from what I can remember, from each team, there was somebody that has played Elite before. So it seemed like every team that we played against had the very similar mentality. Like, this matters. Every single game counts towards something. And I think because of that, the competition was just a step above what it has been.
Yeah, and I mean, even going back from like last year, for me, being able to experience round 1 and 3, I was just like, there's no team I can snooze on. Like it sucks, but it's also really cool. And again, just seeing all these extra measures and rules and what people are doing in the off season to prepare is really cool to kind of just see that coalesce into round 1, which is like, I mean, like you said, you have to be serious from the second you walk into that gym. And go ahead.
No, I was going to say, yeah, that's exactly it.
It's kind of, I don't know, in a weird way, it's kind of gratifying. Like, yeah, everything's going to be a battle. Everything's going to be a challenge. I'm here to play in like the best of the best, and you mean it.
Right, exactly.
So going back to foam, was that a new addition to the regions?
I believe so. I actually don't know if they're playing foam in any of the other regions. This is the first time that I've played foam in any elite round.
Okay. I'm just trying to recall, and I don't think that's and hopefully somebody can correct me, and if not, I'll definitely backtrack it. But I think foam was new, and then obviously I had like the no sting division, which carries over into day and a half. So but let's back up to like, I guess like the biggest change, the one I know for sure happened, that was single elimination. What was that like?
It was a little interesting at first, because we're used to playing, having to win 2 games instead of 4. So you win 2 games and you're like, oh, we still have to beat this same team 2 more times. But it gave us a chance to really work together and kind of get comfortable with each other. So in that aspect, it was really a blessing, kind of, because we got to practice some things in our first rounds, in the elimination rounds, in the elimination games. Right. We got to practice some things and then kind of carry those over into our next round and next round. So I think it actually was kind of helpful, and it just kind of gave a chance to anyone to make a really big play. And it limited the amount of, any kind of ricochets or that kind of thing affecting the entire match. It was like, oh, okay, if that sort of thing happened, there would be another game after that or something like that.
Right. Yeah, again, and this is I don't want to sound like a broken record, but just comparing it to what I heard from the East, it sounded like with the whole best out of 7, it really prevented, for the most part, those crazy situations where like you throw a ball and you hit 3 people, or you just get like a really bad luck like pop up, and that just changes the entire game, or heaven forbid like a bad call overturns something. It kind of like reduces the possibility of that happening, because it doesn't happen 4 games straight for you guys to pull that win. So I from what I've heard, I think people are a fan of it. With single elimination, I like it so far. I got to experience it during the Tribune, and it's yeah, so like you said, it's not just 2 games you got to win. It's every game is going to be it's like a war pretty much. Like you got to just really pull through. And then looking at your path to victory here, it's like, well, mostly for Invasion. So like they took out Pop That. That's a team I obviously recognize, and they don't have to see them again. Like they're not coming back. They're done. Like it's over after that. And when you saw that happen, did that take any pressure off you guys? When you see these teams getting eliminated, and you're like, oh, they're done. They're not going to come back and haunt us from the losers bracket.
Personally, I didn't think about that at all. I think we were just really focused on the task at hand. So every team that we were about to play, I think we were focused exactly on who we were going to play against, what we needed to do to beat them. So for me personally, I feel like we stayed really focused on our own game and what we needed to accomplish. But by no means like were any of those games, easy.
Right.
Every single game, we approached it with like picking targets and figuring out what we needed to do to take out their players.
Gotcha. So it's not even, let's not worry about what's happening games away from us. It's just, again, like you said, the task at hand. Like we got Onion, cool. We got Aztecs, we got Witness, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly.
So can you walk me through some of these matches if you can recall? Let's start with Onion. I want to say it's a new team.
It's so funny that you called it Onion because it looks like onion on the paper, but I'm pretty sure it's Union.
Oh no. Oh boy.
Onion!
Dang it. I'm so sorry. Anyone that's listening that's on the Union team and
Onion.
Oh my God, the group chat is, oh man, Crystal's having a field day. Dang it.
Oh man.
Okay, well, Karina said she did that too. All right, I don't feel so bad.
Team Onion.
Yeah, dang it. I'm sorry.
Well, when we played against Onion, we really had to peel back the layers when we were playing Team Onion. Some tears were shed. We couldn't get too close, or else we would just start crying. So that's how we approached the Onion game. And then, no, so yeah, Union. Team Onion will make you cry.
I'm so sorry, Team Union. Oh boy,
that's all Steve's fault.
Yeah, that is 100% me. Karina's just dying on the group chat here.
That's perfect.
Oh boy. Well, from Union, from what you can recall, like, do you know any big names on that team or where they're from?
I think it was a mixture of players. Some LA. I vaguely remember. I think Aaron was on that team. But I'm gonna be super honest. I don't really remember exactly who was on Onion.
Union.
I'm sorry. I can't. I'm looking right at it, and I said Onion.
Yeah, I'll do that. I just call it Inception. It just ruined it for everybody forever.
Dang it!
It makes sense if they're like an assortment of teams from various regions and whatnot being called Union. That makes sense. Onion, not so much. So good job, Steve. There.
Exactly.
No recovering from that. So I'm so sorry, guys. Again, anybody that's listening to this that's on Union, forgive me. But let's just move on to Aztecs. I didn't screw that one up. So
no, you did not. So Aztecs is a combination of players. I think a few former trophy wives. There was MJ was on that team. Christina Wong played on that team as well. Shelby, I don't know how to say her last name, but I think it's Grimes. Um, she's a great catcher, and I think this might have been her first time playing Elite, and she kind of fit right in. So yeah, she was her first time, and she fit right in, and she was definitely someone that before we played, we were like, okay, don't throw the girl in the hat by yourself. Um, and Tracy Barbosa is also on that team. So definitely like out of one of those teams, you know, someone that you can't sleep on, like a team that you just couldn't sleep on. And as you can see, like they took a game off of us because, you know, they know how we play. Most of them are LA girls. And yeah, I think after that game, you know, it's just one of those teams where you play against each other all the time in rec leagues and stuff. And then, you know, when you play against each other in Elite, it's intense. And then afterwards you're like, all right, cool. See you guys Wednesday. You know what I mean?
Go with each other again.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one thing I noticed,
they were good.
Sorry, and you said MJ was the one with the hat.
No, that was Shelby. Shelby is
okay.
new to Elite, and she wears a hat.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think Crystal's feeding us intel as we go, and she's saying one of them caught Billy Schmidt during the Fit Expo. Yeah,
that was Shelby.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely don't want to paint a target on her because of that, because I know Billy will have some retribution there. But I want to say real quick, and I'll say this until it happens, and Tyler Greer, if you're listening, I'm not trying to call you out, but I realize how much I depend on these articles of yours that the Tribune pushes out, such as like get to know the teams, power rankings, because it's so easy for me to put names of faces and we can talk about them. So if anybody is listening and would like to have more insight, please nudge Tyler and encourage him to dish out more articles. So I wanted to say that, and I'll probably, like I said, I'll inject that little call for help throughout the episode. But I wanted to get into Ride or Die real quick, because I saw that they Aztecs Ford owed them, and if I recall, Ride or Die was a pretty formidable force last year. Is that correct? Do you recall?
Definitely, yeah. They sent us to the losers bracket at Nationals in our first game.
What who are some of the main players, if you can remember?
They have Susan. She's a baller.
Jackie Cruz.
I realized that I said us.
Yeah, you want to correct that?
Yeah. I would like to retract that. Sorry.
Yeah, they didn't send Finesse into the losers bracket, just for the record.
No, they did not send Finesse. They sent Money Shot into the losers bracket last year.
Stand corrected.
So their team, are we back on recording?
Oh, we've been.
Oh, sorry. So they have Susan. Susan's the one that flies in. I don't know if she moved back to the Bay, but someone was telling me that she used to fly into tournaments and just be so jet lagged, and then they would just throw her into the games and she'd be totally fine. And she actually got a double catch this weekend. I forget which team she was playing against, but I was right there and I watched it, and she got a double catch, and I think it was in foam. Actually, nice. Shannon Murphy also got a double catch in foam, and that was pretty gnarly. I kind of freaked out when I saw that. So there were double catches everywhere this weekend, especially for the in the foam division. It was awesome.
Nice.
And I actually think Jackie Cruz got one too. So Ride or Die, they got Jackie Cruz, they got Cindy on the corner, they got Heidi Chow, and they picked up someone new. Her name is Sophie. She's a really good catcher. Really, really good catcher.
Awesome. And Paige played on Ride or Die, right? Am I remember that right?
She did. Paige played on Ride or Die, and so did Alyssa.
Gotcha. And Paige now plays with you guys, obviously.
Yeah, and so does Alyssa.
Fantastic. I wonder what that was like for Paige. Seeing her whole team, but again, we can if we get to do that team interview, I can ask her then. But yeah, Aztecs for me, again, forgive me, they sound like a new team, but I thought that was a big deal, just seeing a pretty clear victory against Ride or Die. Not to rag on them either, but let's talk about Witness, because you went on to go face them. Can you discuss them a little bit, like how they looked during the no steam?
Definitely. So Witness actually picked up Kiki, and she fit right into their team. Nice. Yeah, their team looked really good, because they already have some great arms. Like Tiff and Justine are insane arms, and they got Tanya on the corner who's just picking people off, and they got Lizzie who's like hopping all around and blocking and catching, and then they got Marjan who's singing with me.
That's what you were talking about earlier. Okay.
Yeah, and then Kate, who usually plays with them. She was in Hawaii this weekend, so she wasn't able to play with them. But they're always a tough match. They, they know us pretty well. They know each of us individually pretty well. So, the score was 4-1, but it didn't feel like that. And I think Crystal actually played with most of those girls in Sin City, so she got a little taste of how they play. But all those girls are insanely athletic. Kiki on the corner was really good for them as well. Yeah, like I said, the score does not indicate how close those games actually were.
So she's kind of like, she was a good Kiki. She was a good addition to the team.
Yeah, 100%. She's a really, really tough player. Yeah, she's I think a perfect addition to like their style and how they play. And just adds another element of like, this girl's arm could take you out and take out an entire team. So, nice. Yeah, they were tough.
And it's funny because Karina on the chat is messaging like, yes, that was a tough effing match. I don't have to bleep you out. But yeah, I'm looking at I'm at their Facebook page, and you were saying this is Kate Bergsgaard was one.
Yeah,
that's okay. Yeah, she's. I don't like throwing at her ever. The few times I've had to.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, it's just not the situation I want to be in. And then I want to say you said Lizzie Hodor, right?
Yeah, Lizzie Hodor. She's great. Really, really, really good catcher too.
That's awesome. And then you got Justine. She's still on that team as well. Montclair?
Yeah, Justine and Tiffany. They stand right next to each other, and the
Twin Towers.
Scary.
Like, yeah, I don't know what they feed.
Honestly, I don't know if they like that nickname. I've never asked them, but. Yeah, they're gonna come after you, Steve. Watch out.
Yeah, Onion and Twin Towers. I'm done. No more. Two Towers.
The Onion Twins.
I will say though, in my defense, I saw somebody tag Tiffany, I believe, with the Facebook, something with the Two Towers. So.
Okay. Well,
I didn't just pull that out of nowhere like Onion. That was a reference that I saw. What little I did on Facebook, and yeah, they're just so dang tall, and it's like, man, what do they feed these Pacific Northwest girls? They're just
tacos.
There you go, Sean. That's the key. That must be
Got you. Yep.
The key is tacos if you want to get taller. That makes sense. And like you were saying earlier, like with it being a tough match, like obviously the bracket kind of hints that it wouldn't be, being that it was 4-1. But again, to sound like a broken record with the East, they were saying every single match like that was a battle. So it's it may look like it on paper, but I'm sure, as you guys were saying, it was definitely a good fight. And yeah. Speaking of good fights, let's just go on to your match against Invasion. I was trying to watch some of it on the YouTubes. Thank you, I think, Dominic, for posting that. But it's Monday.
Let's give a shout. I just want to give a quick shout out to Dominic. I know that he's going through a tough time right now, and he made his way to Arizona to film and to bring us bread and to just be around Dodgeball. And we just, from all of us at Finesse and all of us, I think Dodgeball players in general, we really appreciate him, and we are thinking about him. And if he needs anything, we're all here for him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's so quick to help out too. Like, what was it? I can't pull up on Facebook because I don't want the notifications to pop up. But somebody said, "Hey, where are those videos at?" And then Dom's like, "Right here, boom."
Right, exactly.
So,
He's always doing everything he can to not just like be there for dodgeball, just men. He's really supportive of the women, and we're really lucky that he came and he videoed for us and pretty much was just there taking pictures. He's just so supportive, and we really, really love him and appreciate him.
yeah, he's a great guy, and I'm not privy to what he might be going through, but I might ask you offline. But yeah, Dom, if you're listening to whatever it is, man, I hope you're doing well. Probably reach out to him after this. But you mentioned bread, and earlier you mentioned banana bread, and I just can't help myself, especially now that it's just out there. So let's just segue real quick, and can you explain what happened here with this banana bread?
Absolutely. So there was banana bread gifted to the Finesse team, and there was 0 banana bread left when most of us wanted to eat it. And you can ask Paige what happened to it. We're not sure, but all of a sudden we saw it in her hands and it was gone. So Dom, if you're listening, or Paige, if you're listening, I hope you enjoyed the banana bread, and we would really like to try some one day.
Yeah, page free, I'm sure.
It was great. It was great. I'm glad Paige enjoyed it. She deserved it. She played really well too, so it's fine.
Yeah. Oh man, I can just now it's just like when I picture Paige, it's just like the worst vocabulary, the worst expletive words you can ever think of. Plus curtain, plus now banana bread, and I'll probably die if I see her again, but it'll be worth it. I'll die laughing.
We saw a soft side of Paige this weekend, so.
Oh well, I want to veer off into a rabbit hole, but maybe we can talk about that during the interview.
We'll talk about that at another time, but she has a soft side.
I want to hear more about it. That's awesome. Well, let's go ahead and go into that battle with you guys in Invasion. I mean, that was clearly a fight. 4-3. What was that like?
It was tough. Like I was saying before, how every match, it really just is a grind. That was, as you can see, the score 4-3. It was not easy. There were a lot of really big plays made on our side and on their side. They had a couple really clutch catches. Joanna had a really clutch catch on, I think she was standing on the left corner. I also threw a catch at Becca. Becca got a gnarly catch on me. So, I don't know if you watched the video, but I throw it and I walk off and I just I kind of pause for a second and then I just start clapping because it was it was nice. It was a nice catch. Katie Sanchez for them is so hard to get out and is one of their best arms. So when she's throwing, we're all we all have to be ready for any kind of ball that she's going to throw at us. And at the same time, you can't sleep on Rolina on the left or on the right side, because she'll snipe you. So from the top to bottom, there's no bottom on their team. Every single person is someone that you need to get out. And then there's Leek, who you just you can't throw at her alone. So it takes 2 balls to put on one person. It's just, I think, even though Finesse had not played together in a tournament before the weekend, having played against some of the girls, some of the girls being on, I'm going to say women, some of the women being on Team USA with some of the other, the Invasion women, we are kind of used to their play style and we understand them, pretty well. But, even with an understanding of how a team plays, you still can't, you can't understate how important it is to throw multiple balls at people that can catch you. And, every ball that comes at you, you got to get out of the way from. They are the defending champions from Elite Nationals last season. So,
They're there for a reason, obviously. I mean, they've been defending for. I mean, I'm kind of watching as you. It's ironic because you were mentioning like you can't sleep on Relina, and just off the bat, I'm not sure what game this was, but it looks like they have a solid setup with like the pitch back, and she just took out somebody right away, and that's what you'd expect from a defending championship team. So they're obviously going to come in and fight to the very end. And I mean, I haven't been able to see the entire match, but that looks like that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Like they know us just as well as we know them. So, they have a game plan for every team they play against, I'm pretty sure. And they know how to get us out. Exactly. So they're super fast. They move really well. And we had to adapt to that,
For sure. And was there any changes in that roster? Because you mentioned Katie Sanchez, who's just a legend at this point. Kate Gong, same thing. I mean, you could say the same thing about anybody on this team, but Relina and then Leek. Who else did they have on the roster?
They have Jackie D, who is from LA, and she was not able to make it this weekend. So they had Rochelle. They had Rochelle play for Invasion, and Rochelle's from the San Jose area as well. And they also have Becca, who is from LA. She was also there. She's also very hard to get out. And again, they have Joanna, who is from LA. Katie's from Loft, not Arizona. She's from Loft. Never forget.
Excuse me.
Yeah, no. And then they have Kate and Roe and Leek.
Gotcha. Crystal said, "Rest in peace, UDC." Yeah, I feel like anytime UDC is mentioned, at least for the full year, we got to say "Rest in peace."
Never forget.
Yeah, I'll never forget. That is still kind of a bummer. Let's see. Well, I definitely want to watch the rest of that match play out, but
you should. There's a part where you'll see a catch on the right side, and you'll see Paige. You'll just watch till the end. You'll see it
towards the end of the match. I can't help myself.
You got to find it now. I forget which game it's in. It might be this. I think it's this game. I think Karina's going to try and send you the link.
The timestamp. It's so awesome having.
Oh, I just realized someone that wasn't there on Invasion. Nicole.
Chasen?
Nicole Chasen wasn't
okay,
there.
yeah, I was like, I was trying to. Tyler, you're killing me, man, with these not having articles. But I was like, somebody big is missing, and
I knew. Yeah, man. Yeah, Nicole was not there.
Any reason why? Just work, maybe, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know why you would know.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
All right, so we're watching. Maybe this is the final game. Yeah, it's got to be 26 mark. Dom, thank you again so much. Like this is really cool being able to watch this in real time with somebody that was there, since I wasn't.
Yeah, he got a good angle on it too.
Let's see. So, is that Marjan in the right corner pump faking?
No, Marjan's on Witness. That's Relina.
Oh, geez.
Okay, you tried.
Who's this person?
That's Alyssa. That is Sharkbait, and she she is.
Jeez. Okay.
So clutch.
That was a
Sharkbait.
Missile. While this is happening, Sharkbait, can you explain that real quick?
So we did introductions on our Facebook of our players, and we played Two Truths and a Lie, and her lie was that her nickname was Sharkbait. So obviously, then her nickname is now Sharkbait.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yes. Keep watching because you'll see Paige. So just keep your eyes on. Do you see Paige right there on the right side?
Yep.
Okay, just keep your eyes on her.
Being goofy. So for those that are listening still and they can't see the visual, let's see. We've got Paige is the only one that's out. There's who's left? Leek and Kate Gong.
Yep.
Okay, Kate Gong selling.
And maybe Roe in the corner. I forget. Oh, do you see it? There she is.
Yep. I am gonna rewind.
It's perfect.
It's just being If you're listening, timestamp is around 27:30. I'm gonna guess. Looks like what happened? K-Gong throws.
Bobble, 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 Paige.
Paige just. No, did she have the banana bread before or after this part?
Might have been half before. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna say that's probably why she's
so
cheerful.
She's eating it while she's watching.
Let's see.
She's eating it while she's watching. Yep, there she is.
Just in her pockets.
Yeah, it's just little tots, little bread tots coming out of her pockets.
Give me some of your bread, Paige. Oh my God, people are gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" Let's get to the recap already. I just want to see. Okay, so K-Gong was last. Ashley Cook is just bringing all the pump fakes. Yeah, just getting all up in her business, and it's over.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are just walking off like it's just another day. What were you gonna say though? I think you said that was no sting, and those were our no sting jerseys. Yeah, I saw you guys had 2, and then you had like this cross thing. I thought that was because you won 2 championships, but you want to address that real quick, or is that something we got to wait for another time?
I think we might have to wait. Fair.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Well, I do want to ask, since we kind of covered your journey more or less. I know this is probably gonna be really hard because you're basing it off of memory and round robin, but just looking at some of these other teams, I don't really know how to go about it, but like Fembots, I remember hearing about them. Obviously, Invasion. I don't think we talked too much about them at all, but and Fuego. Are there some teams you can kind of highlight a little bit, just kind of again off the top of your head?
Definitely. So there's a new team, as you can see, like down at the bottom of the bracket. There's
Bionic. I want to talk about that actually.
There's Bionic. There's Blindside. Both of those are based out of LA, pretty much. Bionic has a couple girls that were on Beavers, and a couple new to Elite girls, women. And Blindside has some former Love Tap. That team is captained by Casey Reed. They also picked up Sam Greco, who had a great tournament. She did really, really well. She's a great player.
She's pretty solid.
And yeah, super solid. They also picked up Alam from Trophy Wives. They picked up Sybil from Money Shot. And so it's just a team full of really experienced, seasoned elite players. And they did pretty well for their first tournament as well. They also they do have Alice Chung as well, who's on that left corner and pretty solid on that corner too. And then I guess as we go up, there's
well, real quick, I think Crystal yelled blackout, so
okay.
Just straight up yell that out. Can we hit them next, or
sure? Let's do it.
I just want to yell that on the chats.
They're the rebranded Beast Mode, Beauty and the Beast Mode, and they're from the Bay as well.
Oh, nice.
They did great. They're they're a seasoned team as well. They've I think been playing almost as long as I've been playing, so I don't know if they've been playing before that, but they, especially in the foam division, they almost took out Witness, and that was a really, really close game. They had, I think, like 3 catches in one game.
Nice.
So they did really well for their first rebranded tournament. I think Kayla, I'm not sure her last name, but she's Sison. She's their captain, I believe. She's pretty solid too. She moves really well on the court.
Nice.
And then Fuego, I got to give a shout out to Fuego because I think they are super, super under the radar, super underrated. They just picked up Nina Fiore, who was on
like injury for a while, right? Recovering.
Yeah, injured for a while. She was on Trophy Wives, super clutch catcher. She did not make it this weekend, but they picked up Meg Becker, who is also from Trophy Wives, and is a solid pickup for them. So they did really well. We unfortunately didn't get to play them at all, which was a bummer. Not even in any round robin game.
Oh, bummer.
It would have been fun to play them, but they're a solid team that no one can sleep on because they'll come get you.
I'm sorry, you might have said this before, but I'm noticing no Trophy Wives. So they're a rebranded team. They're no more. Is that true?
Yeah, Trophy Wives broke up, and some of their players moved to different teams. Ali Bustamante, actually, shout out to Ali because she ran the women's side, both foam and no sting, by herself, and
oh, really?
She killed it. I mean, she kept us all organized, kept everything on time. It was just, it went seamlessly because of Ali. So we're super, super lucky to have her in charge of the women's side. Is that
new, or is that going to be permanent, or?
I'm not sure. I know she's part of the new elite board. I'm not sure exactly what her position is on it. But she was not only like walking around during the games, making sure everything was running seamlessly, watching all the games as she could. She's also being very supportive. Like anything that we needed, we could just go to ask her. And she was, here's another thing. She was walking around every single match and literally saying to people, make sure you're drinking water, make sure you're eating. Like it was just like, it was like having your mom walking around being like, take care of yourself, shag for other teams.
Just do the right thing.
Don't just sit there, like take your outs, like that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's funny because Karina's like, oh my God, mom.
Mom, wow.
Yeah, was that that wasn't like a nickname you guys coined for her, or that's just how she was acting?
It's her nickname now.
Uh-oh.
Sharkbait. Sharkbait and mom.
Onion, Twin Towers, and mom. Let me just stop now.
Onion.
That's really cool though. I mean, it's great to see again, East Coast. Amanda got some kudos while we were recapping about the job that she did, and just to see that that's kind of reflecting now in the West. And I mean, I think that's what it takes. You just have to have somebody that's dedicated to running the entire event, and one person can't do it all. And with how competitive and bigger these divisions are getting, you kind of need that delegated. You need to have people that are going to be like that, attentive, patient, accommodating, and also enforcing, hey, shag for these teams and drink water and all this other stuff. We kind of veered off from Fuego. Was there anybody else that you wanted to shout out though, or I'm trying to pull
basically their whole team? They are captained by Christina Simos, who is just a wonderful person, like just one of the most amazing women you could ever meet and talk to, not just on the dodgeball court, but like outside of dodgeball. She's so much about women's empowerment and women supporting women. And the thing is, like, life is bigger than dodgeball sometimes, and I think we forget that.
Right.
And then it takes people like Christina who kind of like bring us all back down to earth. And now I just remember when they were playing against Witness, there was a moment, I think it was like a 5-on-1, and they all the Witness girls had a ball, and Christina was was Fuego's last person in. And I've never seen this before in my life, but she did a 360 dodge. Like, she jumped and did like a beautiful pirouette.
I was gonna say.
And every ball missed her. So
nice.
If anyone has footage of that, I think everybody needs to see it. It was amazing. And also on Fuego, yeah, and then she just went off and hit people after that.
Like
so
this thing of beauty, and then she just hit people.
She's beauty and she's grace.
That's awesome. She'll also hit you in the face.
She'll hit you in the face.
I'll be here all night, folks. I'm blaming the coffee.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember this one time. I can't think of her name. We might have mentioned her already because I know she's from LA and a regular, but she this is like a fun league that we're playing, and she ran at us, jumped, spun around in the air. This was a suicide, and then she just blasted me in the chest. And I just remember oh yeah, the point of dodgeball is to get hit. And I just remember just being mesmerized by the grace, and all of a sudden just blam, for everybody to see.
It sounds like a thing Rolina would do.
Yeah, I don't snooze anymore after that. I don't care how pretty the dodge looks or how elegant. Something bad's coming afterwards. So I learned early, thankfully.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that.
Let's see who else is on this roster. I see, I want to say Jessica Sexton. I want to ask about her. Is she from the South or where's she from?
So,
Jess
Sexton? I think originally she's from New York.
Okay.
And then she was also living in San Diego, moved to Florida, and I believe she might be moving back to San Diego. Okay. She was a former college goalie in soccer and really, really good catcher. I think she also had surgery on her shoulder recently, and you can't even tell because she's still throwing heat and she's still dodging and catching like crazy. So
nice.
Yeah, she's really, really good.
Awesome. And then Bev Rivas, I've heard a lot about her. Any takeaways from her this weekend?
Well, so Bev's great. She and I got to play together in the Tribune tournament, the Invitational, where we picked our own teams, and we got to hang out. And she played on Team Kramer, and she's just a really, really good arm, really good catcher. She also, I think, plays a little bit in the East as well. I know she lives in Atlanta and travels to play with Fuego and a team in the East. So she's super good. They also have Emmy Zappa, who is just getting better every tournament. Really, really good arm, great catcher as well.
That crazy, one-legged, kind of halfway out of bounds thing catch was.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy. She's great court vision, really hard to hit, hard to get out. They also have Ryan Johnson, who is pretty great, and she plays in LA. Really, really good arm. I think she might co-captain that team. I'm not sure, but again, really good player. They also have Elena Meeks, who was...
She's not that good. She's pretty bad at everything.
Oh!
It's a good thing she left Arizona.
Oh, dang.
I'm just totally
Shots
joking.
Fired,
she knows I'm kidding. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's in San Diego now, so I think she is playing a little bit more dodgeball with San Diego people.
Nice.
Yeah, she's a really good catcher too. Yeah, Crystal just gave us a heads up that Fuego is the only women's team to now have a co-ed team that's named after them. So there's a Fuego co-ed team as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which still has Christina and Ryan, and I think Bev on it as well.
Very cool. It'll definitely be fun to watch them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Box Cats, I don't know who's still on that team. Excuse me.
We didn't get a chance to play them once.
No. Yeah, I think I don't think Jasmine Bentley played. I think they're her team. I don't know. might have to revisit them. They're an Arizona-based team, and also Hot Tamales were Arizona as well. But I think
yeah, we didn't play them either.
Yeah, I think I don't know if those are going to be just strictly Arizona, so I don't want to spend too much time on them. Not to diss on them by any means, but I think they're new for the most part. And then we've got Onyx. That was another team I wanted to mention, if you knew about them or got to see them.
I know that they have women who are members of the Mexico national team
Oh, nice.
for WDBF. So yeah, they were really good at foam. um, Members of that team, uh, Ashley Dixon, Evelyn Aguilar, who lives in LA. I think Ashley and Issa, I think they live in Northern California. So San Francisco.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they're a good team too. You know, with that kind of background and that kind of competitive play under their belt, it made them a really competitive team as well.
Nice. Very cool. I'm really excited to see like how how the progression of these teams go, and just seeing what Finesse looks like for no sting. But without spending too much more time on there, well, I want to get into foam, but real quick, I'm so sorry, I almost missed this team, but I want to ask about Bionic. And again, Tyler, I need those articles. But for those of you teams that are posting, profiles and team pages, like, you're really helping me out, so I really appreciate that. But were you able to see Bionic at all, Brenda?
Yeah, we actually got to play against them, and
Oh, perfect.
a couple of them are LA girls. Some are new to Elite, but some, like Ania is a former player from Beavers. And then they also have Alicia. She's from the South. She's really, really, really good.
She
super,
is
super sweet girl.
She's tough as crap too. Like, I was able to play in the LA Classic with them, with Alicia Ellis and Christy Stevens, and they're so dang brave, and they just don't care. They just bring it, and it was awesome watching them play. Because I see her on Facebook a lot with the other regions. But actually getting to see them play was awesome, and seeing them on the West was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I love it when people from different regions come and play in the West. I think it's awesome, and I also wanted to mention that people that bought the Bionic jerseys, they gave a portion of the proceeds to a charity. I think it's a charity that deals with prosthetics. I think Ashtar might have set that up. She's,
nice.
I think, the captain of that team. So it just goes back to, dodgeball being bigger than, or, life being bigger than dodgeball, but then at the same time being able to relate dodgeball into your life and bring it into your life and help others. I think that's something that we need to think about more.
That's awesome. Yeah, tugs on the what's the word? The philanthropic part of humanity a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah, philanthropy is really important.
Yeah, and that's another nod to the good things about the dodgeball community instead of always harping on the negative stuff. But I'm looking at their roster. Obviously, I know Abby. Shout out to her just because I play with her on Tuesday nights, and she's an awesome person, and I really am happy to see her play Elite, and really looking forward to what she can do in the coming rounds. And then Paige Silva, I think. De Silva?
I think she was formerly part of a team from the Pacific Northwest, and may have moved to LA recently. I didn't get a chance to catch up with her this go around, but I'm pretty sure that's her. And then they also have her name's Vivian. She's a little firecracker, man. She's good. I don't know if you saw the video. I'm really sorry, Brianna. I have to tell people about this, but she had this insane catch on Bree where it was a 1v1. Bree threw high and Vivian jumped, and as she was coming down from the jump, she lifted her arms in the air. It looked like she snatched the ball from the air, and I kid you not, she landed on her butt with nothing else.
Just
Pure butt.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know why that's weird for me to say all of a sudden, but just leg straight out and just pure bottom, huh?
Just butt, straight butt.
Oh man, if ever there was a hashtag night for this episode, it's gonna be union. It's gonna be straight butt. It's just, yeah. Oh boy. I'm not gonna edit it out. I'm just gonna let this happen. But that's awesome. I gotta find footage, and usually, thankfully, somebody will post that, and it'll just show up. Happens all the time.
I think it's circulating, so just do some digging, you'll find it.
I can only hope. Well, very cool. Well, let's kind of just spend a real quick, maybe a couple minutes on foam.
Sure. Because I love foam.
Yeah, I love being able to just kind of talk teams a lot, and not so much specifics, especially since it's coming from what you can remember. But first team I see right off the bat, looking at the bracket, was Scrap.
Yeah, so Scrap is a so Pop That and Invasion did for foam, they split up their teams. So I think the teams were comprised of half Pop That players, half Invasion players. So they split up into Scrap and FTFB. Yeah, so Scrap was Rachel Rodia, Katie Sanchez, JoJo, Kate Gong, Azalea.
Say no more. Okay, I was like, this is a pretty strong looking team for the bracket. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
They're not new. Okay.
Yeah, they're not a new team. Yeah.
Or not new players. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because they took out Fembots 4-0, Ride or Die 4-2.
Yeah, like I said, man, Ride or Die was playing really, really well in foam. They were catching everything.
But Scraps was just like, no, it's our day.
Yeah. Basically.
Let's see. Was there any big differences between No Sting and foam? Get to see Blackout go a little bit further, I think. And then, actually, what was FTFB?
That was the other half of the Pop That Invasion combination. So it was Erica Schmidt, Lauren Hoffman, Brittany Mastro, Becca Slivka, Jackie Boom.
Oh, Jackie was playing?
Yeah, Jackie was playing for Pop That.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
It's good to see her back.
Yeah, she's back and she's flying all around the court. She's good.
Yeah, that sounds like her. She is. She's probably one of the toughest girls I've ever played with or seen, and she's been. I mean, you want to talk about OGs? She's been playing since 05, 06. So.
It's crazy, yeah, because I didn't know her. So like when I started playing, I think it might have been around the time that she took a hiatus, and I never got to play against her, never got to meet her. I only knew about her or learned about her from Bells this past year.
Nice. Yeah, and it's so ironic because so she knows Kelly, Salamoni, and Pine and all of us from back in the day, and so she was brought up during the OG panel, and Kelly's like, oh, I miss Jackie. Like, there's a story that we had, I don't want to veer off into her too much, teasing the OG panel, but we were telling a story, and then Kelly's like, oh, I miss Jackie. Where is she? She's like, oh, I have no idea. Maybe she'll show up randomly. And then like the next weekend was Bells, I think, and then boom, she was just right there. Like, she was just summoned out of nowhere. But yeah, it's really cool that she's playing now, because she was yeah, real quick segue. I think this year a lot of people are coming back from like retirement or hiatus, and I'm just seeing all over their other regions, and Jackie's just like adding on to that, so that's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, she was
more teams.
Yeah, she was great. I'm excited now to see what it looks like when the rounds progress. And again, not to say too much, but like my friend Mason played on Headhunters, and like, you were scary. You were like the Andrew Catch'em before Catch'em, and I want to see what the competition has evolved since you last left. It's kind of like see what Elite's up to now kind of thing. But rabbit hole. Anyway, squirrel. What does FTFB mean? I meant to ask that.
No idea.
Hope it's
not a clue. They won't tell anyone.
Oh, okay.
So I stopped asking.
Fear the freaking ball. I don't know. Well, maybe somebody will message me. I'll find out. But let's
see if you can find out.
I know, right?
We have no idea.
I'm gonna try. Just 3 o'clock.
There's Onion again.
Yep. I'm so sorry. Union. Who else? Blackout. I don't see any new teams here. Looks like.
Yeah, so you can see. So we actually placed 6th in after round robin. We didn't do that well in round robin, and it's interesting because foam is most of our team. It's most of our favorite ball. So when we got to foam, we kind of had a little bit of a dip in energy. At one point, we had a 2-game break, and Paige, Alyssa, and I sprinted to the Starbucks on campus because we're like, we need coffee. So we sprinted. We were running all around like the student union, couldn't find anything, and we finally found Starbucks, and we were sprinting back with our Starbucks in hand. And actually, I think that might have helped. So shout out to Starbucks, getting us through. We got some espresso, and then we just got back to playing, and I actually think that helped.
Do you think that's what changed your slow, no offense, round robin to just a flat out, straight up victory? I mean, 4-0 Aztecs, 4-0 FTFB, and now who I know they are, that was definitely not a team to steamroll, but you. Oh no, you kind of did.
No. I think after the No Sting championship, we did have a little bit of a dip, and just kind of having to find our groove again. But yeah, I think espresso helped. I think having a little bit of a break helped, and we just kind of like regrouped after dropping some games. So we got to regroup a little bit, and then kind of approach the elimination with the kind of the same mindset as we had in No Sting, where we're like, okay, well, we already know. We already know we can beat these teams. Every game starts 0-0 again, and we know we are capable of. So we just kind of harness that.
That's awesome. Kind of just, again, going back to, we'll worry about what's immediately in front of us, not the game after this, not the series after this, not who's playing against Scrap next time, or Scraps. We'll worry about it when the time comes.
Exactly. Yeah, and you always just have to think of, next play, and I kind of try to say that to myself and to our teammates, like someone throws a catch or someone drops a catch or it just isn't playing well. Just think, next play, man. Like you can't.
That's awesome.
You can't change what happened. You just have to move forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. Squirrel moment. Have you seen Any Given Sunday?
No.
Oh, okay. I got to share a speech. It's like every inch, or it just talks about that kind of mentality. Like, don't worry about the end zone. Just worry about getting freaking 10 yards, and then worry about getting 1 inch. It's pretty cool, but I digress. Anyway,
I'll check it out.
Can you tell me a little bit about Scraps, and then that'll be just like our last main focal point for the recap.
Yeah. So basically, playing against Scrap was playing against Team USA. So obviously they have a lot of experience, both internationally and, with the foam ball itself. So, but in the same regard, Finesse also had some foam experience as well, and some USA foam experience. So that helped as we went along playing them. But I think what happens a lot is in those games where it's super competitive, any tiny thing can sway the whole game. So maybe not tiny, but any play can kind of sway the game.
Right, or change the momentum.
Exactly. So any big catch, any catch can just bring somebody else back in, and both of these teams are comprised of any girl, any woman that can get it done, both catching and getting someone out throwing. So I think both of our teams had some catches. I know so Karina had some catches. Bree had a really great catch, where she's kind of falling. Actually, no, that's the witness game. In the scrap game, Paige had a catch as well. I caught one off my face. That felt pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, so any kind of catch, and I actually remember Joanna also had a really good catch against us in the foam finals as well. She came through really clutch for both of their teams. Really, really, really clutch for Invasion and for Scrap. And yeah, so like I said, any kind of play can shift momentum. And I don't exactly remember how the games fell, like if we won and they won and we won and they won. I don't remember that exactly, but I do remember feeling like once we finally got up 3-2, like there was no going back. Like we had our foot on the gas pedal and we were ready.
You just had that, I probably used this already, but you just had that momentum, that force, like you just knew, like, we got this.
Yeah, and like, obviously, like we couldn't let up at all. But even as it got close, in that last game, actually in that sixth game, Alyssa came up with one of the clutchest catches I have ever seen. I know Crystal has footage of that, but she's kind of sliding sideways and makes a big catch and kind of shifts the momentum, and we were able to close it out after that. But yeah, like I said, just play by play.
That's awesome. Yeah, I wanted to say earlier, it's the reason why I keep saying Scraps is because on the bracket, one of the there's a 2 that looks like a Z, and I just realized, like, oh man, I've been wrong. God dang it. It's like 5. That's 5 tonight.
Scraps.
Yeah, Scrap. I mean, that was like more of a foul ball. That's not really my fault, because whoever wrote this, come on, you're killing. Your 2s look like Z's, but it's Scrap.
Don't you dare talk like Ali Bustamante.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Dare talk about her like that.
Yep, that's strike. Okay, I'm done.
She's our mom.
Oh no. Yep. I'm sorry, Ali. I just, maybe you were just in a rush, and I just need to adjust my eyes. But that's what I was saying.
She was doing
Scraps.
this by herself.
Very well. Well, very cool. It's hard with you because it's really easy to go into rabbit holes, and I apologize if we've done that. I know we're trying to recap everything just from one experience, but thank you so much for being willing to do so and help me out. I really enjoyed it. This was fun. And even though I don't have articles, Tyler Greer, I can still have a pretty good idea of what happened just from what you're saying and what Crystal and Karina have been feeding us via, I guess, live stream. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we just put 2 worlds together.
Yeah, I'm gonna run with this. I think I want to do this from now on. Just have like for those that want to participate but don't want to, be, I guess, heard. They can just feed us intel from Messenger, and I know exactly who to hit up for that, at least for the open division. But yeah, I think that's all I really have for you as far as questions go. Again, thank you so much, and yeah, let's see if you've got anything else you wanted to shout out or mention.
Just looking forward to the LA Classic, or the Women's Classic. It's not in LA, it's in San Diego.
Nice.
The Women's Classic is coming up. It's in April, and we're just excited for all the teams that are going to be coming out to that. San Diego's beautiful. Kelly always runs a great tournament. And again, for those women who are needing to get their 8.5 mix or 8.5 fix in, there's an 8.5 division in Kelly's tournaments. So it's just the best of all the dodgeball worlds. So make sure everyone signs up for that, and we're looking forward to it.
Awesome. Yeah, Crystal's saying register with lots of exclamation points. So do it,
yeah,
especially at the time this airs, which would be Friday, the 18th, I think. So yeah, do it because I think it sells out super fast.
It does.
Awesome. Well, very cool. Brenda, again, thank you so much. And we'll go ahead and end the interview there. Alrighty, so that was a pretty awesome, I feel, might be wrong, but pretty fun, at least, recap with Brenda Kramer. Brenda, thank you so much for hopping on and being willing to just kind of shoulder the responsibility of recapping as much as you could through your perspective. Definitely know that it's limited. I mean, if we can cover it all, I so would, but I really wanted to reach out and say thank you so much to Crystal and Karina as well for kind of just feeding us live intel through our group chat as we were talking. I think that's a really cool accidental element that I want to add to the recaps moving forward. So for those of you that want to participate and listen in real time, I'm totally down to let that happen, and we can kind of just kind of catch errors as we talk, or misspeaks, or shout outs that we might be missing that the panelists can air out. So I'm actually really excited for that. So thank you so much, guys, for participating. And then also, Tyler, I hate to put you on the spot again, but this is also just kind of like a plea to anybody that is interested in writing for the Tribune. I'm realizing as these recaps are going just how much I really rely on those articles to be able to put names to faces, or faces to names, whatever, and being able to kind of talk more and delve deeper into the actual team composition and the players and ask about them specifically, like what did they do, how cool is it, and just being able to shout out people in these recaps, because that's what we were all here for. Anyway, before I get too off the rails, I just want to say congratulations to Finesse for taking No Sting, Invasion, and Pop That for taking second and third, and then going into Foam, congratulations once again to Finesse and Scrap, not Scraps, for taking second, and Witness for taking third. It is awesome that Dodgeball is happening again, and even though I wasn't able to be there to watch, just being able to kind of relive it again through the experiences and input of others is incredible. And just looking at a bracket and being able to kind of just mentally picture what is happening is really cool. So for those of you that are, putting up YouTube videos, taking pictures of the brackets, and doing all that stuff to kind of keep this fresh, I mean, that's what this all comprises of, just being able to relive the glory days. So again, without going too far into sentimentality, thank you so much, guys, for listening. Thank you for your continued feedback. Thank you for being willing to help recap and setting aside time to not only listen, but also just participate too. It's greatly appreciated, and I just look forward to the next one more and more. So on that note, have a great rest of your evening, and we'll catch you next time. That might be the sound effect that I use instead of...
No, I thought you cut it out.
Well, we're still recording, so I can totally tell Nick, hey man, make that the swoosh.
Swoosh.
Is it over?
Yep, it's over. Guys, that was really cool. That was